Hello. Hey, everybody. All right. How's everybody doing? Oh, I don't have chat up. That's a problem. That is a problem. Happy pre-Valentine's Day for everybody. Let's get our chat up here real quick. How's everybody doing? So, since last time, we're working on Vulkan issues, part of the 3.8.5 release, and we're going to work on that some more. First, I got to get chat running. So yeah, the issue there, we were looking at MSAA before, I think was the last thing we were looking at. We were looking at some random stuff, but we were also looking at MSAA. And I think the thing that I went back and did a little research to try to remember how that stuff works. Oh shit, am I muted? No, okay, I'm not muted, good. I was worried for a moment I was muted. Let me kick on music too. There we go. So yeah, the thing that I looked up that reminded me was that, yeah, there's supposed to be two targets, and I don't think there's two targets there. There's supposed to be weird. Chat's not loading again. Weird. There's supposed to be two targets. You need to have a color target, a regular color target, which is the resolve target, the actual regular size target. And then you have the MSA target, which is the one that you render into that is actually multi-sampled. And I think how things are set up at the moment, it's not set up that way. I think that's part of the problem. Okay, so our chat doesn't want to come up. That's very annoying. Probably this chat program's probably broken. I know it was an early version of it. I'm gonna give it one more try, and after that, I'm going to just give up and continue with things. Just updating the latest on there. So yeah, I think that's the core of the thing that I was. Maybe it's just I was still in old school thinking of, oh yeah, you just create a multi-sample target and you're good to go. It's like, no. You got to have. I think that's maybe what was going on, and we're about to find out. Let's see. Oh, our chat started up. Awesome. Yep, it looks like they just changed stuff. Hello, chat. There we go. All right, so let's get into this. Let me update our message. And as always, if you guys have questions as we're going along here, just ask them out. All right. Let's share my screen. All right, finally. Let's see. Let me turn the music down a tweak. Little down. All right, so with that in mind, let's get back to work here. So I'm pretty sure that's what we were looking at last, was that. Oh no, we were actually looking at an issue with a particular shader thing. Hopefully everything's still building right. That's what we were looking at last, but I want to jump over to the MSAA since I have, I think, a solution in there. It'll just take a little bit. So getting back to MSAA for right now. What was our thing? There we go. Oh, we are here. So if we start looking for MSAA in here, and let me get our text size up a little bit more. There we go. Start looking for MSA in here. We should see whether we have an MSA target or not. So here it's creating the color attachments. Okay, so resolve attachment. And I think that's what it wants to do here, or at least how this is designed. Let's see. Okay, resolve attachment ref is not used anywhere. And there's two ways that I can approach it. Either I can approach it where I leave color attachment just being the color, which is the resolved color, and then have a MSAA attachment that is used only for MSAA cases, and that is automatically resolved. Vulkan will automatically resolve it from the MSAA attachment to the color attachment, so I don't have to do anything there. And that's kind of like what I feel is maybe the better approach. I think our samples here were working from, let's see, I think they were working straight with the back buffer. Let's see. Was it in here? No, which test was it? I guess there were specific MSAA tests, weren't there? Where's my test window? Let's explore. There we go. Okay, so there's that one, get data MSAA. So yeah, it was with the back buffer, which is where I should start. But I also need to resolve this for, render targets as well. Which I guess this is the render target MSAA test, essentially. Yeah, with 8. Yeah. Sample count 8. There'll be some things to discuss here of whether doing this is safe or not. Like technically the hardware defines what your max MSA is, and how we should react to that is interesting, or deciding how we're going to handle that is interesting. So, okay. So yes, we wanted to get this test running. I think at the moment it fails. It succeeds. Why is it succeeding? Oh, I think it's because I disabled the false case. The true case result works. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't work. It shouldn't be working. Oh, right, because I was doing this and I disabled the test. Let's put the test back on. Yeah, now it fails. It fails because if I go to where these tests resolve, we had, if you go to tests, assets, reference images, graphics device, where is it? Miscellaneous, maybe? Nope. Which one is it? Oh, it doesn't have a reference image. It was just comparing it numerically, which is what I was doing, was looking at these images that I was generating. That's right. So there was 2 images here. Test false and test true, which were the 2 cases, right? So MSA off, that's what it's generating. MSA true, transparency, so it's not working. We'll keep this around so we can test it, check it later as we test things. And since it's writing it here, it makes it easy for us to test. All right, so we're going to leave true on. Our goal is to get this to stop doing that. So we'll start there. So yeah, I think what I want to do is I want to this resolve attachment is just not used. No, it has resolve attachment. No attachments. Resolve. How does it use it? Resolve attachments. I mean, it just has. I mean, but it doesn't do anything with resolve attachment. It doesn't look like. I guess that's the index. Yeah, that's what it's doing. I see. This is the index, and the resolve attachment is the actual swap chain itself, right? So it's taking the swap chain texture, saying that's a resolve attachment. Okay. So, and then it's defining it here. So the swap chain texture is the resolve attachment. So in this case, I think this one has to be stored. I think that's the correct behavior. Let's see my notes here. This one shouldn't have a multi-sample count because it's the resolve attachment. Whoops, wrong place. That one should not have it because that is the resolve attachment. So that was one thing was wrong here. I'll run this anyways, but I doubt it's going to change anything. Right? It's actually not going to do shit this time because that same old thing. I have to change both these guys for it to update properly. I really should spend some time fixing that, but I don't feel like it at the moment. What are our music stop? That's interesting. Oh, it didn't stop. Oh, yeah, it did. It fell behind or something. Okay, still no result here, so not there yet. Let me also go look and see what changes we did here. Move that menu around. Just want to make sure that I didn't make a change that broke something. Now that I understand what I was missing. So, God, that's hard to read. So it used to be 1 bit, and then, but what is it? God damn it. What is it creating here? This isn't creating the swap chain. Yeah, here's where we need to do something more here because we need an MSAA texture to resolve to. And I don't think that we have that. Because I would think that what we're creating here is our actual resolve. What we don't have is the MSA, the multi-sampled color buffer is what's not here. This thing's so hard to fucking manage this text size. I'm going to bring the text size down a little bit. It's killing me. Okay, so that's one thing. What did I change down here? Okay, that's fine. Recreate swap chain, that's fine. It's this guy down here. Oh, that's fine. Okay, and that's all the changes. So going back to here. let's just get back to this in. Let's get back to this on the regular thing now that we know what we need here. So freeze existing swap chains. Then here, based on swap chain count, it creates images for the swap chains. And stores the swap chain texture that actually holds on to the actual swap chain image in the where's the image being set? There. It's actually generating them. That's interesting. Yeah, so I need to create a. Oh, it's in the way. Hello, Jitin N7G. So yeah, I need to actually create. Assuming this is going to be my. If I probably should make this the resolve because everything kind of works. Well, actually, it doesn't have to. I guess it could be either. But anyway, so we have image. We need a resolve. Target view, image view, format. So what I need is. Let's look at our subpass maybe and see how that's set up. Resolve attachment. Num attachments. Why is it if MSAA swap chain, but and that's kind of weird too, isn't it? Like, shouldn't this be swap chain or the current target? How does that work? Yeah, this feels like it's all messed up. And I'm pretty sure that I didn't have a MSA implementation in the original Vulkan code that we provided at the start, the Vulkan work. I think this was added during the update to support Mac and Linux. Why is this used in other places? Trying to just get a feel for how this is working. Okay, so here's where targets is what it should be working off of. I don't know why it's working off the swap chain. I'm doing MSAA. It shouldn't be. It should be working out of targets. Yeah. So that's one weird thing. It should be only the first target. I don't think you can have multiple. I don't think you can have multiple MSA render targets. I don't think that's how that works, but MSA is coming in from, yeah, the first target is, it seems like that should be doing that. Yeah, it's kind of dangerous. Maybe it's only used within here, but still felt dangerous. Yeah, I don't remember if you can have multiple MSA target render targets. For now, let's assume I can't. All right, so those two targets has value image. So it creates our color attachment. If it's MSAA, I mean, that's doing all the stuff. I don't understand why this is out here. This feels suspect to me. I don't understand why that's there. I mean, I think this is still valid. I don't think there is. Is it like using the swap chain for the attachment? That's kind of weird. So here it's looping through all the targets. It's looping through all the targets, so it needs to view slices. His target earlier has value. It's this. What else is used? This MSA resolve attachments. That's fine. Okay. I guess I kind of see what it was doing here. This would just be the actual MSA. I guess, was it trying to use the swap chain as a resolve? I guess maybe that's what it was trying to do. That's kind of weird. It shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I think it's trying to say that, okay, there's MSA on the first target. We're going to add this, add an attachment. I mean, it's like the last. Yeah, I mean, I think. Attachment color. Okay. Depth has to have the same multi-sample count as the target. Yeah, I mean, I think this was sort of wrong. I mean, I could maybe live with this right now to assume it's the swap chain. Because what it was doing before is what? Hang on. That's what it was doing before. Let's put this back. Let me just check this real quick. I don't think it was putting that in. Yeah. It's only used inside of here. Make it clear for now. If we need to fix that later, we can change it later, but at least now we know that it's not used outside. So what I was trying to do here is do something similar to this. I'm not sure why it was trying to get specifically the swap chain texture. I think this is where we need specifically, I think what we want to do is we want to have an MSA texture that's separate here, that's specifically used for the MSA. This image will strictly be the I mean, I probably don't want to do it that way. because it's kind of recursive on itself. I need to have one that's the actual MSA image. Let's just go for it. Say multi-sample image. It's a separate image. Wait, back to where I was at. I'm going to assume that that's being created. This already must be here, right? Now it was done during the loop. And this feels wrong, but you know, we'll figure it out. I'm not sure if the view needs to be so this would be the resolve. That would be the resolve, which is single. All this is normal. It is the a note for myself for right now. And up here, deal with multiple render targets later. Num targets gets the target. So if it's MSAA, I want to use if it's MSAA, I want to use the MSA image. Be sure that's what I need to do. So, well, I want to do I'm not going to worry about I'm going to worry about the fact that this will screw up multiple render targets. Let's see, this with a note. I think that doesn't need to change or anything. No. Format. All that's normal. Creates the view for this. Use. I think that's fine. There's something about the attachment being transient. What is that? Yeah, what was that? There's a video that I watched that gave me a note about that. What was the storage is what it was. Was it that? Yeah, I guess it was store op don't care. Right. Okay. This is getting closer, but I still need to create the MSAA target or image. Yeah. So, and I'm going to only focus on the swap chain. So let's go to create swap chain. In here, feels like we're getting closer here. So, okay, so here's where it's creating the images. Creates a texture, creates an image, puts it in here. I need to create it twice. I need to create it once with the swap chain, and once with multi-sample and once without. So this naming's kind of crazy, but whatever. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one I do first here. Order of this stuff is sometimes kind of weird. Create the texture first. I forget what I use this for. It might be kept around just for informational purposes, but create image view. Right, so what I'm going to do here is multi-sample count. Actually, it probably should be greater than 1. Then I'm going to change the create info. I'm going to initially create it this way. Well, I have no idea if this is going to work. I have suspicion it's going to work, but I have not totally sure. So to create the regular image, and then here we're going to recreate it with what's it use the swap chain images for? What does it use this memory requirements for? Just gets this memory requirements, and I'm not sure what that is about. I'm not sure what's happening there. Why is it calling get memory requirements? I mean, this gets the swap chain images. Okay. Because they've already been created, it's just fetching them is created by the swap chain itself. But does that... I mean, was the swap chain create info? Okay, the swap chain. This is the swap chain info. This is the. I guess this will not have. The swap chain itself is never MSAA. Yeah. So in this case, because this is creating the actual swap chain, which is creating the images with swap chain. We already said the format and everything else up here. Yeah. So we still need to create the MSA target down here. Pretty sure that's how that works. All right, everybody, we're doing it live. So here, because I'm not actually creating anything here, I'm just setting this up after the fact. It's already been created. Just storing this info for use of future, whoever uses this info state, which it really sucks in C++. I can't say, hey, find all references of this. It just finds all references of the word info. It doesn't like find references of this thing, which really sucks. It makes this kind of fucking useless. Or mostly useless. Not any more useful than finding files. So yeah, I need to actually create the target here. I don't want to do it this way. I want to just, or I don't want to do it. Yeah, this is what I want to use, I think. It's putting it specifically into the texture image, yeah. Move this up here by it. Always forget to use the back out. Ricky 4LE, how old are you, UNC? I'm not sure what UNC means. I guess I'm 53 this year. Yeah, 53. I'm super old. I'm just going to steal the code. Just doing a lot, figuring it out as I go. What our image, create image info, that's it. It's a reference, block info. I'm going to put it into the MS image. I have no clue if I'm heading in the right direction here or not. But hey, I created a multi-sampled image. Okay. This might work. I have no clue. We're going to find out. I might have to have a separate view for the MSAA. Well, actually, I don't think you ever use a view for the MSAA. I'm not sure. We'll find out, I guess. I might need a view. Angel Montiel, hello. Radioactive, no clue if headed in the right direction, says every developer. Yeah, I like to kind of know if I'm heading in the right direction. Oh, I'm doing the right thing here. I need to run the test, not do that. So I'm going to debug the test. I mean, a lot of times I feel like I know I'm headed in the right direction, generally. But this time for sure, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. Okay. That's what our output is here. I'm looking for any issues. Did not like it. Okay, what did not like? Oh, it's because it's okay. Would have been defined. I probably should look at where we create. Let's go look at the other create info here. Yeah. Usage might be interesting here too. Okay, this might be fine. Okay, why is it taking so long to build? There we go. Debug that sucker. Okay. This. I liked it. So that's good. Okay. We're not working on shaders right now. Let's go to where it actually uses this stuff. Let's see. Okay. It's true. It's going to come in here. Is target layer has value. Yes, otherwise. Oh, I don't know if that's a problem or not. Just going to use the target view. Okay. How's target view used? I might need to have my own target. Yeah, I do. I have a mixture of styles here. Don't love that. I think null handle is just null, right? It's probably not safe to do that. Yeah, and I think where I create this, I might not need to do it that way. I might just be able to support the target view to always the MSA image, but I don't know for sure. So I'm just going to go with this for now, and we'll figure it out from there. Let's go back to recreate the MS image. I'm going to see if we already have code in here for creating the view. Nah, it just uses that. Yeah, let's do this. We'll still pass that in, but let's pass the image in separately. That lets us reuse that code. Something just like a pointer under the hood. It's a handle. Yeah, it's a handle. Okay. Let's do this. What is this? Texture create. Sure. Fingers are all messed up this morning. So view is just for is for sampling, target view is for render targets. That's how that's defined, I guess. I wonder if I could take advantage of that. I'll worry about that later. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe that's what I needed to do. That's kind of dumb, huh? Target view might need to always point at the, yeah, it should always point at the MSA target. Yeah, let's undo this. I was heading in the wrong direction. Can't render to the multi-sample target and the resolve target. You can only render one of them. So the target view is always going to be the MSA target. So if the texture is that's what it should be doing. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. That's what it should be doing. It's always going to be the MS image. It means that what I call this can't create this until it creates the multi-sample target here. I guess it's not creating a view target here because, or a regular image view, because that is only for reading from the target, and you don't read from the swap chain. So that's why it does that. So this is better, I think. I think we're in better shape here. It's time for another test. Man, my view count is dwindling. I'm very quiet today, I guess. People are less interested in this. It is what it is. Nothing I can do about it, but just keep on going. Keep on trucking. Okay, so this is for an offline thing that's creating. Hopefully it doesn't have multi-sample. I mean, we're not even passing multi-sample into this. That's something we'll have to fix. All right. What's happening here? Oh, there we go. I'm going to create the image, and then when it comes in here, it's going to create this based on the multi-sample target. Succeeded. Well, damn it. That's wrong. It's always this. This can go away. Don't need that. Don't need that. I forgot I created all this extra stuff that I didn't need. All right. It's just one of these things. I just got to keep trucking through. Keep going. Okay. Create that. No Vulkan issues. No problems there. Assuming it's going to create the proper multi-sample depth texture, and that won't be an issue. No. Okay, good. This will properly create the view because it's using the same as multi-sample, use the multi-sampled image, but there is no multi-sampled image here because it is itself multi-sampled. Oh shit, this is a... Yeah, I mean, for depth, it doesn't need a resolve target. That's the depth texture. And this view is used for render target rendering. This is going to fail. Yeah. Let's do this. Kind of hacky, but whatever. I really don't like these long lines. I'd rather have an if-else here that I can actually read because it's not 50 million lines long. It's easy to understand. Sometimes we get so stuck in doing trying to shove it all into one line when it doesn't really help. At least it's clear. Okay, so let's try again. Right. Once more into the breach. Okay. Here's what creates the depth one, but it doesn't use that, just uses derivative images. It's always depth and never resolves. So that works out okay, I think. Yep. Right, so everything is there. So the question is, does it work? Here's where we need to now look. Just use target view, which is our multi-sample target view, because we have an MS image, and that means it'll only point to that. That also tells me some other ideas I have here. Like I shouldn't need to do this. I should just say if MS image is not null, then this is what the image is in that case. I think. This will always be based on the multi-sample count. Don't care if this. And I don't know if this should be done only for the first one or not. I'm not sure. I don't think even I don't even know if the order of this makes sense. Target view is for the multi-sample image. That makes sense. Actually, this might be wrong. I think that that's the target view to the multi-sample image, and I think it wants the target view to the resolve image. So that's where I need that other target view. That's kind of annoying. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Won't know till it builds the pipeline, I guess. Or we're going to increase the render pass. So here's where we'll get our errors. Didn't care. Didn't like something. Okay, this is similar to the issue we had before. Attachment has VK 4-bit samples do not match the VK samples used with corresponding attachment. Attachments 1, which attachments 1 would be, let's see. There's only one target, so this is attachment 0. Attachment 1 is this. Okay, I think, yeah, it's this target view. It needs to have a resolve target view. So that's really what I needed here, is a resolve view, I guess. Let's call it that. Kind of switching things around, but whatever. I'll live with it. I'm not even worried about cleanup yet. I'm just gonna make sure that points to the original image for resolve. Yeah. I think this is what we want, and then I'm just going to fix this where it creates the swap chain. I'm going to have to create a resolve view here. Just be back into, oh, what is this for here? There's really not a way to specify this other than to tell it. Yeah. I'm going to save myself some trouble here, maybe. Nah, let's just do the right thing. What's the right way to do this? I'm not going to bother with the right way to do this. I am going to just copy this junk. Like trying to think of like a clever way to share the code. Hey, look, a spammer. Goodbye, spammer. I'm trying to think of a way of here's a clever way to copy this code and share it and all this other garbage. And it's like, maybe I shouldn't even bother. Hopefully this doesn't conflict with a bunch of junk that I have above. Let's get rid of some temporaries that I don't need at the moment. It's just going to use image, not you, image because it's a resolve view. That's a little cleaner, I guess. We'll see. That might solve that. We'll see. That's interesting. I think we've been overrun with viewers. Hello to everybody that's viewing now that wasn't viewing before. Let's see. So, did I build this? I don't remember if I built it. Let's check it out. Ugh. Okay, let's test this again. All right, so let's see if our view target gets created right. Clear that sucker. Seem to not mind, so I would assume that that looks good. Go back to where it attaches this. Let's see. Nope, this is the same code I was just in. Good there. It's like insert mode set. Hate it when it gets into insert mode set. All right. So this time I think it's going to work. Feeling good about this. Let's jump to the freaking. Didn't complain. Here's the moment of truth. Didn't complain. All right. Something complained. Hey, an assertion. But what did it do? Damn. It asserted everything's set up, but it didn't render. It didn't output. Is that because I'm reading the wrong target? I'm copying that data. I've had that failure before where, we failed because our code for reading back the target isn't working properly. Let me go look at this real quick. I suspect that maybe, it's getting the regular color data from the target, which is calling, where is it? Just calling regular get data, which that ends up calling what? Quirky Heil. Heil. Huh. Interesting. All right, so it's calling really good data, which ends up calling what? Platform get data, which calls the low level get data. And the question is where's it getting it from here? Not buffer, texture get data. Where is it getting it from? Interesting. So, layout, info format, texture, image. So it's getting from image, which should be the resolved image, but it's not resolved. Is it getting it from in here? No, because it's. Wait, how is that working? Yeah, there's an extra step here. Aha, I'm forgetting something. We create a texture. Okay, we get back buffer data is where it's coming from, and that's where we need to double check that. And there we go. Let's double check that code. It gets a temp image. This is where working from a testing on a render target first might have been easier. I just wonder if this is copying from the right target. Creates a fence, wait for fence, source image. It's using image as the source, which is the right thing. That should be the result target. And that should be working. That seems the right thing. What worries me now, well, let's look at this. Layout undefined, aspect color bit. Okay, so command buffer expects image, swap chain 0, aspect made, color bit, mid level, array 0, to be layout image present. Instead, current layout is defined. Oh, there's something about that. In one, I think when we set up this code, there's something about transitioning it. Yeah. Creating the multi-sample image is undefined, but it needs to be, it has to transition at some point. How does that work? I forgot how that works. Let me check my notes. Where's it coming from? Why can't I see my search here? That's weird. It says the word transitions in here, but I can't find it. It's super useful. Crazy. So where's our transition? Save the render target, create image, blah, blah, blah. Color resource, again. I don't think we do that, do we? Oh yeah, we are. Okay. That's so weird. Is it like finding something in the freaking, so weird that it sees the word transition in here, but it's not in here. It's some hidden piece of code somewhere. Weird. Let's see. Maybe I can look somewhere else for this. I'm just asking ChatGPT real quick how transition works, since freaking tutorial's not telling me. Okay, well that is set up there. This is in the submit that it's doing that. So that is the original image. Wait, is that the? I can't tell if that's the swap chain image or not. I need to fix the. Oh, the transition word appears in the comments. That's funny. Strange that I guess it's collapsed and that's why I couldn't find it. It's so weird. Let's see. We're gonna create this image. Yeah, we're gonna create this image. It is. Oh, damn it. Do I? No. That's supposed to be this way because it complained when I didn't do that. So yeah. Let's go back and look at how that could be some simple logic failure back here. You know, when it comes to, where is it? Here. This is specifically for the, oh, that probably is part of it. Because this part of here, we're working with target view, which is the MSAA target. Yeah, but it is a swap chain. I think that's where our problem lies. I think. Or no, maybe that may or may not be the problem. I might be wrong. Because I could be wrong there. But easier to find out if I'm wrong by building it and trying than to spend all day staring at it. That would be harder. Let the test tell me if it's wrong or right. I really want to have a result here. At least this will tell me if it's worse, I guess. Didn't complain there. Didn't complain on end render pass. That's a positive, maybe. Complain there, though, whatever that was. Nope, no results. What I was going to do before was look at where MS Image is created. Okay. I was setting an object name on that one, but not on this one. Gosh. That'll make it a little easier to identify what's what. But regardless, here it's saying image. So it's not the MS image that it has a problem with. It has a problem with the original image. So resource aspect. You know, I find these things so hard to read, and I think the reason I find them so hard to read is that it inserts so much extra information instead of like being a description of the problem and then the extra details. It's like it's trying to describe the problem and shove in details about the problem all in between. So it's like a sentence that's chopped up with garbage in the middle that makes it hard to grok. So yeah, I think that's what's been hurting my brain trying to read those things. I just have to submit to their direction. So it's command buffer. You see, again, this is like where it inserts this garbage here that I don't care about right now. Expects. It's like you put that in the middle of a sentence. It's impossible to fucking read. Just a basic, you know, usability thing. Command buffer expects image, this image. Again, garbage I don't care about right now. Garbage I don't care about. To be. So let's get the sentence out of here. It's like I'm trying to read that. It drives me fucking nuts. So here's the original sentence. Here's the actual sentence. Command buffer expects, let's just say that, more garbage to be layout. This is so stupid. Just so badly done. Layout. Can I make that bigger? I can't make it bigger. Sorry. Oh yeah, I can make it bigger. Where was that? Shift num plus. Okay, I guess it's as big as it gets. Command versus empty texture image to be in layout image percent KHR instead. Current layout is image defined. So it's saying that this is in undefined state, but this wasn't created in an undefined state. It was created there. Where is it setting it to undefined? Is it setting it to undefined somewhere else? It's not talking about that. It's talking about and this is the multi-sample attachment. I don't think this is right. I think this was supposed to be no, this actually might be correct. That might be more correct, maybe. Well, I don't know. It's in the case of the MSAA target. Let's see what it says in the tutorial over here somewhere. Where the heck I have it? Okay, it should be optimal. Okay, so it should be optimal. Okay, so final layout in Resolve. Okay, so that's correct there. Yeah. So that's correct. Okay, that's correct as well. Hard to read your name. Ladcan. Hey, Tom, what's your longest coding session? Oh, gosh. I mean, on stream, I try to keep it to 2 hours. Like we did one 3 hours last time. Off stream, freaking crazy. I mean, I've been writing code now for 25 years, 30 years, I guess, maybe maybe even longer if you consider that I was writing code on a Commodore 64 in the 1980s. When time was infinite, I guess, back then. I mean, I've spent, 8 hours or more coding at times back in, depending on what project I was working on, what I'm dealing with, or like even, full weekends and days, there have been times where sometimes it's not just coding. Sometimes when you're getting through a session, it's not just coding, it's mostly debugging. I guess it depends, right? Just writing code, straight writing code. I would say I've spent a day just writing code. Debugging, though, is the part that you might be doing for days. Like, I've definitely spent time staring at the screen trying to figure out a bug for over 12 hours, straight, just trying to solve something. And usually that's around the time that I'm getting so tired that I can't think anymore and I have to do something else and just sleep. But and then probably a lot of those times, thinking back on all those times on different projects, it was probably not productive, being there that long, trying to figure a problem out. I would probably have been better off stepping away from it, working on something else and coming back to it than just sitting there staring at that issue over and over and over again. Most of the times the resolutions were very simple, but you just couldn't see it at the time. I mean, I remember very specifically one time, I won't talk about the specific game and everything, but there was a demo, or we're doing a version of the game. I guess they were showcasing the game on the show floor, I think at E3, in a booth for a console manufacturer. And the game was on there, but it was having some performance issues and crashing at times. And we were there like the whole night before, up until like the show was starting, the show floor was opening, and we are still messing with code, trying to figure out this problem. And I was literally almost slumped in my chair, falling asleep, eyes closing, trying to figure out the problem until we figured it out somehow in my dazed sleep, dazed state, figured it out, fixed the code, built a package, uploaded it to the back end, messaged, the console manufacturer, said like, hey, we just pushed a new build, this will solve the problem, fixed it, and then immediately just passed out on the office couch. So that might have been one of my really long code sessions. I can't tell you for sure, but we've done some really long ones, and the truth is they're not super productive. I would not recommend. That's definitely not the best way to do things, but it happens in this industry. It just happens. Now, a lot of it's, but not because you're forced. I mean, there are definitely companies out there that force people to work crazy hours and stuff. But a lot of times it's just the nature of what we're doing. You know, as developers, we want to figure things out. We want to solve these problems, and we get obsessed with it. And I think that sometimes that gets the better of us. So yeah, I think that might be the issue, is just, you know, the problem getting the better of us, or the excitement of getting it solved, or seeing that those pixels on screen when you finally get something to work. And I think that can be, you know, awesome motivational, but it can also be detrimental. You know, you have to really know when to say, hey, this is enough. If not, you know, you just lose productivity. At a certain point, you just can't do it anymore. Your brain just doesn't work fully. All right, so back to this. So I guess we're figuring out that it seems like I have most of this stuff right. We're going to go back and look a little bit more at the sample. This is basically what we have. I mean, this all looks right. I'm going to stop and run it again just with the latest and see what I can figure out from this. I'm going to run it again. I'm going to just see if by chance okay, it's still the same issue. Where is it actually failing here? I want to see that. Stop. I'm going to run it again. I want to see what actually is causing returning that failure. I guess it's when it's finally finishing the pass. It's not there. It's not there. It could be on get back buffer. This might be when it actually goes and, yeah, okay, that's what I expected. Because here's, let's see, 151. Let's go look. All right. Wait, here? Her? Oh, this is what was named. Okay, duh. That's not what it was. So on VQQ submit. I guess it might have been there. We'll see. Was it that one? Or was it that one? So many Q submits. Okay, let's try it again. I want to see which one this is. Okay, it's not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, it's probably this one. Nope, wrong again. Nope. What is it doing? Oh, it's just these command buffers it's creating for. What is it using command buffer there for? Oh, to transition it, I guess. Transition image layout. I don't think that's my problem though, but we'll see. Okay, so here. Okay, so here it is. Get back buffer data when it is actually flushing. That's when it's going wrong. I wonder if I should present first. Me personally, I like to challenge. So Ladcam says, oh, okay. Me personally, I like to challenge myself to code for as long as I can, not to the point where I can pass out though. Sure. I mean, that's somewhat valid, I guess. But you know, at a certain point, your brain stops functioning. So it's definitely good to stop, to walk away. And sometimes that walk away lets you and do something else, lets your brain process, and you'll come up with, oh yeah, I should have done this. All right. Feel like I'm so close here. So this is what's going to, nope, not there. Interesting. Still not there. Huh. Where is it coming from? That's interesting. I'm not sure where the error is coming from. I wonder if there's something to this. And the error, I guess, still exists, so it's not that, but okay, so it did come from this. It's the copy command buffer. Interesting. I mean, it already flushed the previous and render pass. I mean, that should have, damn it, I hate it when it does that. Come on now. And render pass. I mean, that's not actually flushing anything, it's just calling it a render pass. I think this might be part of the problem, is that it needs to, it really needs to end the frame. Let me do this. Well, no, I don't want it to present. I mean, I guess this is doing the right thing. Yeah, I mean, this is submitting the current thing. I think, yeah. Let's look a little closer here. There could be part of the problem, could be just right here. I'm assuming that the capture is going to tell us that, you know, what failed, but it's possible that, because this is just entering the frame like it normally would, except it's got some extra fences, it looks like. Like if I compare this, if I compare that to present, come on, damn it. Not quite the same, but let's see that it's ending the render pass. It's the same thing there. Yeah, so doing everything but, you know, doing the present, because it doesn't need to present. But I do wonder, is at what point does it actually, I don't think it does the, I don't think it resolves the, when does the resolve occur? I guess when the pass ends is when the resolve occurs. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's... Ladcam says, if you guys hit it big on Twitch, you should try doing a 24-hour coding stream. Oh, man. I'd be... One, I don't know if I have the time to do it anymore, but it'd probably kill me. I think I'm getting too old for this shit. I think that's literally true. All right, so I think we determined that this is fine. It's then trying to, like at this point, it's like, hey, let's get the image result, and the image should have a result in it, I think, because I think the problem lies here somewhere. Creates a command buffer. It's creating a copy command buffer. Transition layout from source image. Okay, this might be partially where the problem is occurring. Okay, it's trying to transition the layout from on the source image, which is our resolved target, but well, and it should be presented as source HKR. Yeah, I mean, it should be, because that is the present target. So that's correct, I think. I think that's what it's talking about, is this operation. I was thinking it was talking about the operation of what it normally renders to, and I think that's not the issue here. So the transition, what's the arguments here? Old layout, new layout. Okay, old layout to new layout. It's trying to transition it from, hey, present source KHR to image layout source optimal, transfer image optimal. And it's from defined to destination optimal. So it does that. Then after it does the blit, transitioning from this data, copying this data from here, then it transitions back to this, back to transfer dest optimal image layout. From this to transfer source optimal, and then puts this back into present optimal. That's what it's trying to do. And then it's copying the image buffer to copy dest buffer to dest buffer, which is this buffer that it created up here. Okay. All right. And then when it executes the command buffer, that's when it fails. So it has to do with this. I mean, it doesn't mean that the MSA target isn't broken inside of there. It just means that that's the issue. No, a second, check in something real quick. Has anybody else noticed an influx of weird spam lately? Seems for the last 6 months, I've been getting nonstop sales emails. I assume all from AIs. It's been horrifying. Too much of that junk. Okay, so let's digest these messages a little bit better. I'm going to break it down again like I did here, because these messages suck. Okay, submit command buffer. Expects. Wait. Expects. BK image, texture image, swap change 0. Garbage, garbage, garbage. To be layout instead is current layout undefined. So it says the image is still in an undefined layout. Which is interesting. I wonder if that's because the resolve hasn't finished. Because that's what it's reading from that. But it's not that yet. No, Twitch for sure with bots, but the fact that chat is so quiet, I do wonder whether we just have a bunch of bots viewing us at the moment. I don't trust it. If you're real and you're watching, reply with the word red. Let's see. Okay. So it's saying it's not in the right state, which must mean that doesn't seem like that's correct, because it should have transitioned it into that state. We can see, hey, one red. See, I just think most of this is bot stuff. Where is that? So yeah, num targets cached. Damn you, stop. This thing is so free. Like, what's the purpose of that? To jump to where it's first created or something? Oh gosh. Dead internet theory, maybe. So yeah. It's setting this for this target, because this target is the MSA target. And then initial final. And down here, the resolve is set to say, hey, resolve to 1 bit, load op, store op, initial layout, undefined, final layout there. And resolve attachment is being added, right? Yes. It's not something special I need to do in the past, is there? No. The attachment is added, store stencil, initial layout, final layout. I don't see that used anywhere. I guess it is, right? I'm not sure if I actually need depth stencil attachment right bit or not. We all need to do is wait for OpenAI servers to shut down and then alive internet theory. I mean, OpenAI is not the main problem or the culprit. The problem is technologies escape the lab, right? AI has escaped the lab. There's open source stuff, but no, we have 3 attachments as well. AI has escaped the lab. You can find open source projects for AI. It's out there. People are going to be building it. You can't keep people from using it. It's just going to keep happening. I'm sure people building whole bot farms around using open source AI solutions. Not really following, but that tutorial has 3 attachments and only has 2. Actually, we do have 3 attachments. So if you follow the code, you'll see that it has number attachment 0. Here's the first attachment, which is the color target, which that color target is the MSAA target, the one that is a multi-sample buffer, which is what it's going to render into. And then you can see down here, it increments the number of color attachments, or num attachments and color attachments, but num attachments. So that's the first one. The second one is the resolve, which, I don't know if the order of this matters, but we're doing it in a different order than normal. I mean, for shits and giggles, I will try this. I don't think... because, in the sample, they show the attachments as, where is it down here? Color attachment, depth attachment, color resolve attachment. I don't know if the order there matters. Maybe it does, but, yeah. Not sure if it matters, but might as well try, I guess. But yeah, so the color attachment, attachment 1, attachment 2, attachment 3. Where's it use color attachments at? Assuming the color attachment stays as 1 and it doesn't actually have to modify. I'll test this just to see, but I don't think that's the issue. It sucks, but I think I'm going to have to call it after this. Felt like I was getting so close here, too. I'm on the right path here. I suspect there might be something wrong with the get buffer data at this point. But I'm not totally sure, or it could just be that we're not resolving things properly. Okay, so it's down here that actually fails. Yep, same failure. The fact that that image is still undefined tells me that maybe it didn't actually execute or didn't actually complete that rendering. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say in the sample. I need to go look at the actual implementation. I did that the other day. No, I don't want a description of that. Where's the actual sample? I don't want. Yeah, AI industry has problems. It'll get resolved. It's not going away. It's a tool like anything else, just has to be used properly. All right. Let's go look at one thing here before I call it. I want to go look at where they actually. So I assume that when you end the render pass and submit the queue, that's when it actually does the resolve. But I could be wrong. It could be that there's some other step that needs to happen that I'm not sure of. Draw frame. Sorry, it's super small. Yeah, I guess. You submit percent jar. Huh. I mean, there's nothing extra here that I see. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, that's everything there. I mean, yeah, what is it waiting on? See, I'm doing this thing where it's like I feel like I gotta solve this right now, and I'm as much as I need to jump off stream, I feel like I have to finish this. Let me try one thing. I mean, this may not work without the semaphore. Pretty sure that's going to require that the semaphore is in there. I think we already have one for. Okay, it's in the, okay, so. Probably don't want to do all that stuff because it might be breaking things by doing this, but I want to see if it actually renders, then I can worry about, doing it right maybe later. I'm possibly doing this all wrong. Yeah, let's just do all of it. Let's just do all of it. Hope for the best. I think that by doing this, we're screwing up our present later, but I just want to see if this actually gets it to get us results. Okay, last try. Last try. Once more time with feeling. Right, come on. Come on, thing. It didn't blow up. Okay. Same issue. All right. I just got to figure out why this is leaving us in this state. Have to spend some time on it. Maybe this weekend I'll get a little bit of time to do it. I have to go out this weekend. I'll take my laptop with me. Maybe I'll sit outside and try some stuff. All right. So that was quite an adventure. We have still so much more to fix there. There was somebody submitted it looks like this is interesting. Like a week or two ago, the foundation decided that we wanted to take a stand on AI stuff. We've been talking about AI stuff. And we decided that on our pull requests, whenever you submit a pull request to MonoGame, there's now a default checkbox that appears that's like, I affirm that none of this code was generated by LLMs. And that's something we decided to do because we really don't want LLM code leaking into MonoGame. It's possible it's already happened and we're not aware of it. We try to keep an eye out for people submitting AI generated code in there. So it's possible people already submitted some stuff, but we wanted to take a stance and say no AI generated code. All we can do is use the honor system because we don't have a very good way of detecting it. But yeah, we decided to do that. That said, I guess my point is that, that said, the LLMs are good for understanding information, and for, tutorials. They're kind of like a private tutor in a way. But what we don't want to do is just cut and paste code from LLMs, or have it just make a program for you. I think that's where you start to abuse it. But using it to learn is not a bad thing. It's not much different than having somebody summarize a book for you or summarize information they learned from a book. So those are the cases where we're definitely allowing LLM use, and I'll have to see if I can, figure out how that's supposed to work, like when the actual resolve is supposed to occur. Because that's probably what's happening, is that resolve isn't occurring. There's something that has to occur there to trigger that, and it's not doing it. So, all right. So we have a bunch more still to do. We got distracted by, or not distracted, we got stuck with this. Oh, what I was saying before was somebody submitted a PR, was going to submit a PR to fix an issue they were having on Mac. And they stopped and didn't submit it when they saw that the submitted PR, when they saw that checkbox in the pull request, they're like, oh, I can't submit this. So they actually posted in the issue like, hey, I solved this, but I solved it. You have an LLM generate the code for me, and I couldn't submit it, but here are the fixes. So there's a list of like, these are the things that have to be fixed to fix this problem in one of the issues, but no code, which is okay. If using an LLM to get an answer to something is, to me, better than going to Google at this point, because Google really sucks at giving you answers. So yeah, so there's some more stuff there that we need to get done. 3.8.5 is so far behind. I think it's like almost 5 months behind schedule. We should have probably shipped it, on time, or 6 months behind on it. We got to get it done. So I'm going to continue doing these sessions. I got to get these Vulkan issues resolved so that it's stable enough that we can ship it and move on to the next milestone. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up in later versions of MonoGame. Some stuff that we haven't announced that is coming is super cool, but we need to get past this. So, all right. Thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitch and YouTube. That's where we're normally streaming. If you're so inclined, donate to MonoGame. We're an open source project. We just work via donations. And while we've had a couple of big donors, we're nowhere near the donations that we get that, some of the other open source projects get. So we're always looking for some extra cash just so that we can continue doing this. Myself and a couple other guys work part-time for the foundation, and those donations help for our part-time work. But we want to try to bring some people on full time. I can't do that. We want to try to bring in some people full time, and that would help towards that. All right. Well, that's it for today. Bye, everybody.